Hi folks, Hoop here. Many people ask me about the dehydrated food that I bring on my trips, summer and winter. I only bring dehydrated food because it saves in weight and bulk and it keeps it indefinitely the way I have figured it out. And it's really good too. I really like having control of the ingredients of my own dried food stuffs. So I got a batch of tomato sauce coming off the dehydrator tonight, so I thought I would show you how I did it. Tomato sauce is one of my favorite sauce bases for many of my one-pot meals. So I'll show you how I process this and store it. What I do initially is I pick a tomato sauce that I like. I happen to like this one, Ragu Original. There's many great sauces out there in the market. Pick the one you like. But this one does not have any meat in it. Now I will add my own dried ground beef to the sauce mix, to the one-pot meal. I dehydrate ground beef and I defat it in a certain way, etc. So, but I don't know commercially how they prepare their meat and if it's fatty in the sauce mixes. So that's why I use a base sauce that doesn't have any meat in it, or mushrooms or anything, because again I'll add mushrooms and all kinds of other ingredients, dried olives, dried onions, etc. I'll add my own olive oil, etc. So this is the base sauce, and it has never failed me. It works really well. So find the sauce that you like. I recommend without meat, and then add your own dried meat that's safe and well dehydrated and not going to go rancid on you when you store it. Okay. So the way I process the sauce is I'll pour about a half jar of this. This is a 700 ml jar, and these trays, these are fruit roll-up trays, and they take about roughly about a half a jar, and you just pour it out, and then you spread it evenly with a spoon. I'll move the tray out of the way here. So I'm going to use half a jar for one of my one-pot meals, and it is just great. It makes a very rich, thick sauce. And with these fruit roll-up trays, you just kind of, it's been drying for 24 hours. I pretty well dry everything about 24 hours. And my dehydrator has a fan in it which circulates the air. So what I've found is that you can store this as a rolled up cone. So you just pull it off the plastic fruit roll-up tray like this. It's loose. And what I do is I fold it over, and then I will roll it up into a cone. Now it's kind of funny, but you got to be careful because this is actually quite sharp. So for storage, I just get rid of some sharp edges there. Because believe it or not, you can actually cut yourself on this fine edge. So that's it there. That's a complete one-pot meal sauce base for me, and I will just pop that in the pot of cold water and then start the fire or my stove to heat it up, and it will break apart with some stirring in the cooking process. It will break apart and make a fantastic sauce. I will add dried meat to this, dried mushrooms, olives, dried onions, about 30 to 40 mils of olive oil, and then I'll put the pasta in as well and cook it like rice and measure. I know how much water to put in my pot, and the pasta absorbs the water, so you can cook the pasta right in with the meal. Just makes a fantastic meal. Now what I do for storage is I use mason jars. I just pop that in there, and I'll put this in my deep freeze, and it will keep indefinitely. So let's do another one of these here. Get this out of the way. One thing about these commercial dehydrators is that they often come, I bought 8 trays, and they often come with just 1 or 2 fruit roll-up trays. I recommend ordering 1 fruit roll-up tray per tray. I find I do everything on these, even dried meat I do on these. Now they don't always peel up easy like this. Sometimes they crack, and so the trick is to get it not too thick, not too thin, get it just right, and when it's just right, it tends to peel up nicely without cracking. If it all cracks and breaks, you can still pack it away, but it's nice to have it all in one cone like this, because that's one meal, and you just pop it into the pot that you're cooking in to rehydrate. Oh, so there, see, there it cracked on me. So what I'll try to do is rescue that a bit. So that was probably a little too thin when I put it on the tray there. These sauces do have olive oil in them, and that helps them to not stick. I'll just crush the sharp edges there. I should also mention that when you pack this for trips, I use freezer bag Ziplocs, and these edges can actually cut through 1 layer of Ziploc. So I will pack for a long trip. I pack these in 3 layers of Ziplocs to ensure that if they cut through the first one and the second one, then hopefully they won't cut through the third one. Okay, so that's dried tomato sauce. Oh, I should mention that when I was looking through the screen to test this was coming out looking quite black on the camera, but I can assure you it's a deep ruby red. It's a nice color, and it rehydrates deep red, just like a tomato sauce should look. So if it looks black on the screen, don't worry. It hasn't turned black. It's a beautiful deep red. So best of luck for your dehydrated food adventures. See you out there.